Greetings everyone, I am TJBChris and welcome to part 4 in my quest for 8 megabytes of RAM on the TRS-80 Model 16B. The Model 16 seen here waiting patiently for its new memory. Tonight we do the final steps, which are to prepare the 68,000 CPU card for the MMU upgrade. It has an upgrade that requires 4 jumps to be done on the solder side of the board, so we're going to do that. Then we remove the CPU from the socket, we put it into the MMU card, and then insert the MMU into this card into the CPU socket. And that will be the upgrade. Then it's time to put it in and see if it works. And I'm going to have to get the newer patched diagnostic, the more comprehensive diagnostic, so I can really exercise the 8 meg RAM, because the older diagnostics won't support that much, I'm pretty sure. And we'll let Xenix boot up and see if it recognizes it, and I think that's going to be our first test. So without further ado, let's get to it, first with the bodge wires. Alright, so this is the CPU card again. U19 is the processor, so that is where we're going to be doing all of our jumps from. So the jumps are from U19, this guy, to U10, pin 1, which is right here. Then we're going to U24, pin 9, which is all the way over here. Then we're going to U20, pin... U38, pin 1, right here. And then we're going to U41, pin 11. And that's right there. So most of this is, I mean, obviously it's all local, but most of it's relatively close by, so I should have enough wires. So I have to make sure I get the orientation of the pins right, this being the notch. Pin 1 is here, which means looking at it, that's pin 1. And I do have little extra solder out if I need it. I'm not sure if I'll be able to just melt this a bit and attach the wire to it, or if I'm going to need to add a little additional solder. So I've got it here in case I need it, but we'll see how this goes. So, all right, here we are. Board done. Those of you who do this for a living are probably going, geez, dude, you couldn't clean that up a little bit? Sorry. Amateur-ish. Amateur. So let's go through these quick. What I ended up actually doing was I did use my solder. I added a little bit to each pin before I ran the wires to them, and then I just reflowed it and attached the pins. That made it much easier. Solder melted faster, and I didn't have to risk overheating anything, so I consider that a win. Where do we go? So this is U19, and I'm just going to run down in order of the mod pins, the mod list I have here. So U19 pin 24, that's this guy here, goes over to U10 pin 1, and you just got to watch the orientation here. So this is U10, the notch is going that way, so pin 1's closest to the CPU, and we've got that hit. Okay, and then, are we in frame? We are in frame. And then we are pin 19, which is the leftmost here, and that is over to U24 pin 9. That's over, the way over here. Then we have pin 20, its neighbor, and that is over to U38 pin 1 down here. And then we have U19 pin 21, 20's neighbor, obviously, going down to U41 pin 11. So 2 went to pin 1, then we had a 9 and an 11. Hopefully I got all those numbers right. All right. I am going to pull the CPU out, and then we're going to insert the SRAM board, and when I get the CPU out, we're going to have a little bit of discussion on that, because there's actually a little bit of a story there. So the original socket here is one of these Burndy sockets, and you can see I have part of it in my hand. These sockets blow. They are brittle and fickle, and it's difficult to get the CPU out without breaking them, and even if you do, they may not work right. And that's what happened to me. I got the friggin' thing out. I got it. I was kind of messing with it with the MMU, trying to fit, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this, put it back in so I can do the, you know, this whole stacked approach to this kind of measured approach, and it didn't want to play nice, and when I put the meter on it, the pins were testing out. The instructions for the MMU card actually have you put a second socket on it, because the pins are brittle on this. So what I did was, I was like, you know what, I will pre-insert the socket for the 68,000 CPU, which I did, and getting them lined up was difficult because essentially the pins are wider than the pin itself because it's kind of a locking socket, so it locks the CPU into the pins. But I was able to orient this just right. I'm going to frame where you can see it, so I could line the pins up and push these into the pins. And it has been working. It's been working great. Now, whether this is a long-term solution or not, I don't know. TJBChris, you're saying, why don't you just, any sentence that starts with why don't you just, don't finish it, but okay, I'll hear you out. Why don't you just take out the socket and resolder it? Well, one, rework of this kind with sockets is not my bread and butter anyway. I'm okay at it, but two, this is a multi-layer board. And given my amateurish nature at this, I do not have nearly enough bench experience to try and rework a socket on a multi-layer board. If this doesn't hold up, I will ask somebody, plead nicely, I've got wine, I've got whiskey, whatever you like, or for a nominal fee, or maybe I have something you want that I don't want anymore, to do this for me. But for now, it seems to be working. At the first sign of trouble, we'll punt, but I don't plan to ever take a soldering iron to this board. So if you're rolling your eyes at the mechanics, just consider the alternative, will you? All right, public service announcement over. And honestly, these sockets have a reputation, and they suck ass. So I'm going to pull this off of here because it's already got one of these sockets on it, and try not to break the pins because that would suck. And then I'm going to insert this MMU board, and it is go time. Okay, we're installed. Look at that. Makes it a little tall. Nice stacked operation here. Let us insert the CPU very, very carefully. I probably should have put this in there first, but whatever. All right. We're in. Let's try it out. Almost forgot in my zeal. We've got to jumper the board for 8 megs. All right, now at this point we can go for the gold because all I have to do is take the jumpers off. And actually, this is a nice mod because the MMU mod is something I can undo. I can always pull off the wires that I put on and turn it back into a stock board and undo it. So it's not so bad. So we're going to jumper this up, and then we're going to plug it in and go. Well, there we are, all jumped up and ready to go. So, fingers crossed, moment of truth, let's do it. Okay, it's the moment of truth. The boards are in place. All that's left to do is throw the switch. I have my fan behind it, but I'm going to wait a second to turn that on because it'll give me a chance to make sure there's no smoke. We're going to power it up, and before I hit enter, assuming the boot prompt comes up, I will double check that we don't burn anything up. Okay, at least I didn't break the machine enough to stop it from booting. That can be done. Smoke check indicates success, no smoke. Okay. Nothing left to do but hit the button, right? So will it work? Given my track record, I'm going to go with no, but here we go. Oh, F you, Fred. All right, here we go. The light's on. I love my Fred. Don't let me badmouth it. I love the thing. It's awesome. But okay, the light went off. Big bucks, big bucks. No whammies. No, no whammies. I feel like I'm Spaceballs. Come on, Schwartz. It's taking longer. Come on, Schwartz. Come on. Did I break it? I did not. Ooh, is it correct? Oh, holy hell. Look at that. System 288K. User 7392K. Oh, it works. Oh, man. Look at that. 8 megabytes of RAM on a system from the mid-1980s. 10 years later, in the early to mid-90s, a 486 could be had, well, early 90s, a 486 could be had often with 4 megabytes of RAM, half the RAM that this machine now has. Go into maintenance mode. Let me get my fan on here. But if you think about that, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with this. It's not a practical thing for me. Like, there's nothing practical I'm going to do with this other than be like, I've got a TRS-80 with 8 megs in it. But it's really awesome. And you'll remember, you're like, but TJBChris, this is 7.5 megs. Think back to my earlier videos. In all of the rambling I've been doing, only 7.5 megs is available for use. The other 512K is reserved. So, that part of the memory space, the 512K is reserved, that part of the memory space is reserved. So, I don't know what I'm going to practically do with this. I could hook 5 terminals up to this and have a 6 user on the console, and if we're not all doing disk-related things, I could probably do something fun with that. But I will find something, and this is really cool. And I made something that works, and by that I mean I took something else that someone else designed and assembled it. So if we really boil this down, this is called TJBChris follows instructions good. That's it. I followed instructions. I apparently can follow instructions. That's pretty much my only contribution to this, other than boring you with it on YouTube. So, I can follow instructions. The machine works. I am super thrilled. It worked. I figured it wasn't going to work. I've kind of effed it up along the way, but the MMU piece actually worked flawlessly the first time. Can't say that very often. Alright, that's going to do it for this video and for this series of videos. The quest for 8 megabytes has been completed. Achievement unlocked, like Dora the Explorer. We did it, we did it, we did it. Yeah. So, and for once I got it right the first time, like Billy Joel. Get it right the first time, because getting it right the next time ain't the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and bask in the glow of my 8 megabyte TRS-80 Model 16B, figure out what I can do with it that's going to be awesome. And if I do find something fun, you'll obviously see it here. So, grab your favorite beverage of choice. Whiskey, wine, beer, water, soda, I don't care. Raise a glass to the TRS-80 Model 16B. Stay classy.